I have concluded that there were a number of contributory factors to Salman Abedi's radicalisation. His family background and his parents' extremist views, along with their participation in the struggle in Libya, played a significant part. That struggle involved people who were radical, violent extremists. During the time Salman Abedi and Hashim Abedi spent in Libya, during which they were probably involved in fighting, they are likely to have come into contact with a number of violent extremists. It is likely that those extremists, including members of the Islamic State, who would be in a position to provide the brothers with expertise in making of bombs and in carrying out counter-surveillance measures. I have not been able to obtain a complete picture of the part Salman Abedi and Hashim Abedi's family played in their radicalisation, nor of what happened while they were in Libya. That is because other members of their family, namely their parents and brother, were not willing to give evidence to the inquiry. Salman and Hashim's parents were invited to provide statements, but declined to do so. As they are currently out of the jurisdiction, there were no further steps that I could take. Ismail Abedi, who was in the country at the time I requested a statement, managed to leave the United Kingdom so that he didn't have to provide information which he was in a position to give. I have included in the recommendations section of Volume 3 some suggestions which I hope will make this more difficult for important witnesses in the future. Whether, if I had succeeded in getting Ismail Abedi into the witness box, he would have assisted the inquiry is very doubtful. I have looked at whether the various educational establishments and mosques that Salman Abedi attended should have appreciated that he was moving towards violent extremism and notified the relevant authorities. I consider that it would have been very difficult for any of the educational establishments to have become aware of his developing extremism. I consider it unlikely, having considered all the evidence, that Salman Abedi was radicalised at the Didsbury Mosque, but some of the evidence given on behalf of the mosque about the association of the Abedi family with the mosque was unsatisfactory. Finally, in my report, I deal with the issue of whether the attack should or could have been prevented by the security service and counter-terrorism policing. I have reported fully on those matters in the closed part of Volume 3 of my report, which will be seen by those who are best placed to ensure that mistakes which were made are not repeated. In the open part of Volume 3, I have included all matters which I can safely include without jeopardising national security and making our community less safe. What I have been able to set out in the open part of Volume 3 is that I have found a significant missed opportunity to take action that might have prevented the attack. It is not possible to reach any conclusion on the balance of probabilities or to any other evidential standard as to whether the attack would have been prevented. However, there was a realistic possibility that actionable intelligence could have been obtained which might have led to actions preventing the attack. The reasons for this missed opportunity included a failure by the security service, in my view, to act swiftly enough. I am aware that revealing what I have revealed in Part 24 of my report will leave many people, and particularly the bereaved families, wanting to know more. All I can say is that I have done my best to reveal what I can. Had we not had closed hearings, I would not have been able to make the findings that I have been able to make. Closed hearings, I am convinced, were entirely necessary as part of this inquiry if it was going to achieve its aims. The consequence of that, however, is that I have not been able to reveal some of the evidence on which my findings are based, as to do so would have risked breaching national security.